I want to challenge you very seriously on how to follow your gift. And I want to share some 8 things about your gift. Number 1, you are gifted. Whether you know it or not, you are gifted. You came here loaded and equipped for your purpose. God has no afterthoughts. God does not wait for you to correct your mistakes, recollect who you are, come back to your senses, and then gift you. God does not wait for you to get the skills, the qualifications, the education, the networks, and then gift you. That gift is already in you. It was in you before your arrival. Everything you'll ever need for your purpose is already in you. And the Apostle Paul reminded his spiritual son team about this truth in his second letter, chapter 1, verse 6 through 7. He writes, "Therefore I remind you," this is a reminder. I remind you. And there are 3 things he's reminding him. Number 1, that he is gifted. He says, I remind you to stir up the gift of God which is in you. The gift is in you. It's a gift from God. You didn't purchase it. It's in you. Number 2, it was confirmed by the laying of my hands on you. Number 3, and most important, is what stops gifts from manifesting. And this is fear. 8 out of 10 people never manifest their gifts. And the primary reason is fear. So Paul tells Timothy, as much as you're gifted, watch out. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, verse 7, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Now, listen again. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. The spirit of fear is not from God. Then, of necessity, it is from the enemy. And a lot of people fear failure. They fear defeat. They fear being embarrassed. They fear being ashamed. So they prefer to chase money than to chase their dreams. They end up chasing money than following through their gifts because they don't trust that God can provide for them if they pursued their God-given purpose. They don't have confidence in God. Most of the people you admire on TV, most of the celebrities, it's not because they're more gifted than you are. It is because they followed through their gift. They stirred up. They exercised. They worked out the gift in them. Meantime, you feared to manifest your gift. I know you may want to engage me in an argument and tell me, Pastor, I live in my gift, I manifest my gift. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you live out your gift, you don't need to explain it. We can see it. Jesus said, when you put up a candle, a lamp, and put it on top of the hill, everybody can see it. It doesn't require explanations. A city on the hill cannot be hidden. When your gift is shining, you don't need to explain it, to justify it, to defend it. Everybody can see. That's why Jesus said, you are the light of the world. I submit to you this morning, the primary reason why you're not manifesting your gift is fear, especially fear of failure, fear of being rejected and opposed by people, fear of being laughed at, lack of faith that God can provide to your needs while you pursue your gift. So you end up pursuing basic needs when these things were supposed to follow you. They were meant to be byproducts of pursuit of your God-given purpose, the very reason for your existence. So he says, look, God has not given us a spirit of fear. That's from the enemy. Instead, he has given us power, the energy to pursue our dreams, the power to do his will in our lives. Number 2, love. Not just the love of God and people, but the love of what we do. And number 3, he has given us a sound mind. God doesn't bring confusion. He brings clarity of thought. clarity of vision, clarity of mind. We are able to know his will concerning us. Number 2, concerning gifts. Your gift is your key. It's possible you have been waiting for doors to open. It's possible you've been saying, when I get more networks, when someone introduces me to the senator or to White House or to some powerful individual or to the CEO, then they will know the material I am made of. And God's word is challenging you this morning. Your gift is the key God has given you to unlock your potential. Your gift is the key God has given you to open every single door. In Proverbs 18:16, the Bible says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Just think about this. It is the gift of David that took him to the palace. He was anointed at the age of 17, but yet he was in oblivion until he sang to the king. Actually, the reason he was brought to King Saul was to play music, to perform to the king, to quiet his spirit. It is at that point that David had access to the king and told him, by the way, I can beat Goliath. Give me a chance to face Goliath, because now he had access to the king. But it is his gift of music that opened his door to the palace. Exactly at the age of 17 again, Joseph had a dream. And it is the gift of interpreting dreams that brought Joseph out of prison, not only to the palace, but to become the prime minister of then superpower Egypt. His gift brought him before a great man, the king, and opened doors for him. So the Bible challenges us, if you want doors to be opened, God has already given you the key. And the key is your gift. In ancient times, you couldn't see a king without a gift. You couldn't go before the king with empty-handed, not even to the King of Kings. So the gift, if you had a kingly gift, then you'll be given access to present it to the king. And this is the context of this verse. But not just the gift, the material gift you carry to the king, but more importantly, the gift that is in your members, that is inside of you. And that's why God does not just look for your material gifts. He says, offer first your bodies as a living sacrifice. The gift that you carry, implementing it, manifesting it, revealing it, is your gift back to God. Because you received this gift freely, and the only thing you can do to God is to give him back that gift by manifesting it. Number 3, exercise your gift. Your gift can remain trapped in latent form. It can remain within you and never manifest unless you work it out. Just like your muscles. You've got to go to the gym and work them out. Jesus gave a very, I know some people laughed at my muscles. I will go to the gym. Jesus gave a very interesting story of a certain master who had 3 servants, and he gave them some talents. He gave the first guy 5 bags of gold, the second guy 2 bags of gold, and the third guy 1 bag of gold. After several days, he came back to demand what they did with the talents he gave them. The guy who was given 5 bags of gold worked very hard and returned 10 in total. And the master said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter ye into the joy of the Lord. The guy who was given 2 bags of gold worked so hard, he returned 4 in total. The master said, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter ye into the joy of the Lord. Realize they were commended equally, although they didn't perform equally. Why? The master didn't expect equal performance because he didn't gift them equally. He didn't expect them to perform equally. What he expected from each of them is faithfulness. But there was a character who was given 1 bag of gold, and he feared to invest. He feared he's likely to lose his investment. So he decided to hide his bag of gold, and he brought it back to the master. 3 things happened when the master heard his story of fear. Look at verse 28, Matthew 25. He said concerning this guy, so take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. Here's the principle. Verse 29. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. Whoever uses their gift, it shines the more. Whoever hides their gift, it begins to fade away. Verse 30. He doesn't just take away the bag of gold, but he throws that guy to hell. He says, and throw that worthless servant. Worthless, why? The master expects returns on his investment. He says, and throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, this story was given by the Lord Jesus himself. He never said this guy committed adultery. Jesus never said this guy committed murder. Jesus never said this guy dishonored his parents. Jesus never said this guy was an idol worshiper or profaned the name of God. This guy was sent to hell because of laziness, because of fear. He feared to invest what God had already put in him. And this is a challenge the Lord is giving us. He expects return on his investment. He expects us to be faithful with the gift he gave us. Number 4, you can't lose your gift. Now, the story in Matthew 25 is not a story of gifts. It's a story of talents. What's the difference? Talents and gifts are both given by God. But talents are given to us genetically. God gives us talents through our parental lineage. They are a heritage. They are genetical. They are passed on by our parents. But gifts are divine endowments, divine callings. God gives us directly. That's the difference. So the talent you don't use, you lose. But the gift you don't use, it wastes away. It fades away. You don't lose your gift. It remains in suppression state, latent state, not in a kinetic, in an expressed way. Romans 11:29, for the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Some Bible versions say they are without repentance. When God gives you a gift, he does not take it away from you. You don't lose it, but it remains in a suppressed state. That's why even the devil never lost his gift. He's still very handsome. The Bible says he masquerades like the angel of light. He's still very powerful. He's still very musical. He was the chief of music in heaven. And that's why the primary tool the enemy uses today is music. Because when God gives you a gift, he does not record it. He does not take it away. It's a question whether you will manifest that gift or it's going to remain concealed, not revealed. So the entire creation groans in earnest expectation for the manifestation of the sons of God. And the challenge I'm asking you right now, when shall you ever manifest yourself? Can you imagine when people used to go for surgery, how painful it was before we discovered anesthesia? A mother who could not deliver normally, who had complications, and she had to be cut by a surgeon's knife in total writhing, excruciating pains. Many of them never made it. Until in 1884, John Stephen Morton gave us anesthesia, and he manifested himself to the world. That's why the entire creation groans, weeps in earnest expectation for the manifestation of the sons of God. Every time you don't reveal yourself, there is a pain that remains on this planet. Can you imagine how long it took for us to travel across the Atlantic? Many, many people got lost in the high seas until 1907, when the Wright brothers made the first aircraft. They manifested themselves, and right now from Atlanta to London, in 7 hours, you are there. Because two men who did not have a degree in aeronautical engineering, they were bicycle mechanics, manifested themselves. They refused to fear, and they decided to experiment on an aircraft. Can you imagine? Tonsillitis used to kill people until Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. He gave us the first antibiotics. Today, you don't have to feel pain because you have painkillers. Because one guy manifested himself. And the story goes on. Right now we are live. People are following us from different countries because somebody discovered the internet. Another one discovered the Facebook. Another one discovered the cameras. Another one discovered the screens. What on earth shall you give us? What shall you deliver to mankind? Shall you ever manifest, or shall you sneak into this life unnoticed, exist unnoticed, and then sneak out unnoticed? We read your story for the first time in your obituaries. That's a charge before us this morning. Number 5, walk with the gifted. I want to challenge you right now. The quickest way of manifesting your gift is to look for a mentor. Trust me. The quickest way to be a pro golfer is to look for the Tiger Woods of this world. The quickest way to be a star in tennis is to look for the Serena Williams of this world. The quickest way to excel in basketball is to look for the Michael Jordans of this world. There was a guy we used to lecture together in the university. Then he began to work with a very prominent politician. And surely the next election, he too got elected as a member of parliament. Just by the law of association, walking with the gifted. And I could give you countless biblical examples. Let me pull one for you. When Elisha saw Elijah, the man of God, something within him was stirred up, aroused. He left his business and he followed Elijah. He sensed his calling as a prophet. And he followed Elijah wherever he went. They began to walk together. When they had crossed the river Jordan, as recorded in 2 Kings 2:9, Elijah said to Elisha, "Tell me, what can I do for you before I'm taken from you?" "Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit," Elisha replied. "You have asked a difficult thing," Elijah said. "Yet, if you see me when I'm taken from you, it will be yours. Otherwise, it will not. If you stay with me to the very end, if you stay with me faithfully until you see my departure, I'm going to give you my mantle. You're going to have a double spirit of what I have. You'll do twice the number of miracles that I have done if you just stay the course to the very end." So I challenge us right now to learn to walk with the gifted. Number 6. You are not gifted for everyone. Not everyone can hear your voice. Your mission, your calling, your purpose is for specific individuals. So don't get disturbed when other people don't listen to you. Jesus said in John 10:27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Not everyone can hear my voice. I'm under no delusion. I do recognize something very basic here, that I can't reach everyone. God gives us a portion of his kingdom and another person a portion of his vineyard. He has not called all of us to reach everyone. And that's exactly what the Lord was saying. He himself never went beyond Israel. Simon Peter never preached outside of Israel. Paul preached from Turkey to Spain. Not everybody will notice your gift. Don't go berserk when other people don't recognize your gift and they don't recognize your calling. God has raised some voices for a local congregation like this one, others for many countries. God has raised local leaders here in Georgia, others federal leaders for the whole country. That's just how it is. You've got to understand your jurisdiction. You will never be effective outside your mission field. Your gift is meant to be deployed in a particular place for particular people. Only a certain cadre of people can hear my voice and my language. There are places I'm invited and I turn down the invitation. Why? I know if I go to certain congregations, I will frustrate them and I'll frustrate myself. They can't follow my arguments. They can't follow my language. They can't follow my style and my approach. They are not a bad congregation. Neither am I a bad pastor. We are just not meant for each other. Am I communicating? That's what Jesus was saying. There are some people you invite to this church and they will never come. There's nothing wrong with the church and there's nothing wrong with your friends. They are just not meant for such a congregation. And that's what you will realize. It doesn't matter your gift. If you're gifted in singing, there are people who can listen to your music. There are people who can't listen to your music. Just think. That's why some people just listen to country songs. Others to jazz. Others to gospel. Why? That's exactly how it is. Your gift can't serve everyone. My sheep hear my voice, Jesus said. So don't get frustrated when some people don't appreciate your gift. Number 7, the gifted are opposed. Don't be under any illusion that when you are gifted, doors will automatically open up. People will start celebrating you. I need you to know that the presence of opposition and resistance is not evidence that you're not gifted. In fact, people throw rocks to a tree which is fruitful. Usually when a tree has no fruit, they don't throw rocks. Sometimes when you don't get any opposition and nobody is fighting you, nobody is challenging you, it might imply you're not manifesting your gift. It doesn't mean you're not gifted. It might imply you are simply not manifesting your gifts. Because if you manifest your gift, you are going to rub somebody's shoulders the wrong way. It's just a fact. If you don't believe me, David was so gifted, but he was very opposed by his brothers and by King Saul. Joseph was so gifted, but he was opposed by his own brothers. Jesus was the most gifted. He was opposed by his own brethren in Israel to the extent they crucified him. Paul was so gifted. He was beaten so many times, left for the dead, 3 times shipwrecked, flogged, imprisoned. Half of his letters he wrote from the jail. So even if you're gifted, you will encounter a lot of fights. Hebrews 11 is the hall of fame for men and women of faith. These guys who are gifted more than the average person. Some faced jeers and flogging, and even chains and imprisonment. They were put to death by stoning. They were sewed in two. They were killed by the sword. They went about in sheepskin and goatskin, destitute, persecuted, and mistreated. The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in deserts and mountains, living in caves and in holes in the ground. These were all commended for their faith. They were commended for their faith. They were gifted guys, yet they were opposed. So the fact that you're gifted does not mean you will not be fought. On the contrary, the higher the gift, the higher the fight. Number 8, and the last one, your gift is not your character. People sometimes get shocked when someone like Will Smith walks on stage a few weeks ago and slaps the master of ceremony. We get shocked. How can such a gifted guy behave like that? Don't ever confuse gifts for character. Gift is given to you by God. Character, you've got to develop yourself. Character is the accumulation of our daily habits. You don't choose your character. You choose your habits. And your habits choose your character. Jesus said, we will know them by their fruit. Matthew 7:20. Not by their gift. And Jesus, in this context, was talking about prophets. And he said some prophets will go to hell even after performing miracles in my name. Why? Because I don't take back the gift. If they have the gift of healing, they will continue to heal and go to hell. Don't judge a prophet by their gift. Judge them by their fruit. So Paul says, here is the deal. If you don't want your gift to take you to a place where your character cannot keep you, if you don't want your gift to shine so much, that's why they say pride comes before a fall. You see, the more you're gifted, the more you're shining. The more your character can embarrass you and shame you. And the way out of it, Paul says in Galatians 5:16, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not gratify the desires of the flesh. And then he lists down the desires of the flesh. And then in verse 22, he says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, self-control. Against such, there is no law. So the fruit of the Spirit, you walk with God. What is walking in the Spirit? Walking in the Spirit simply means be in touch with God at every moment. Don't just pray in the morning. Don't just pray when you're about to sleep. In every decision, when you're in the car driving, switch off the music, switch off every other thing. Pray for 5 minutes, continue with your music. Sometimes even when we are at home resting, sometimes I excuse myself to the restroom even when I have zero need for the restroom, just to make a prayer. Lord, what should I tell my daughter concerning this situation? You can never, ever mess up with how you speak, with what you do, if you stay in touch with God. Most of the time, God will never allow your gift to go where your character cannot keep you. If you want to go to the next level, take care of your character, and God will take care of your gift. He doesn't want you to lead yourself into self-destruction. So basically, I want to conclude by reminding you, follow through your gift. How? Number one, remember you're gifted. Everything you'll ever need in this life is already in you. God has no afterthoughts. Number two, your gift is your key. It is people's gifts that open doors for them to appear before kings. A lot of people who shine and they get to be known this world, it's not their degrees, it's not their skills, it's not their qualifications, it is not even their work ethic. It is their gift that opens doors for them. Your gift is your key. Number three, exercise your gift. You've got to start up your gift. Work out your gift. Your gift will waste away if you don't work on it. That's what Paul was telling Timothy. When I laid hands on you, I confirmed your gift, but you've got to arouse it. Start it up for it to manifest. Timothy, if you don't work out your gift, people will doubt your calling. Number four, you can't lose your gift. You can lose your talents, but you can't lose your gift. But your gift can waste away. Your gift can fade away. Your gift can remain in latent form. And you need, for you to manifest it, you've got to overcome fear. You've got to say no to contradiction. You've got to stop fearing what people think about you. You either chase your gift or chase money. Number 5, walk with the gifted. Look for a life coach. Look for a mentor. Look for someone who can encourage you, who can be your cheerleader, who can fun up the gift trapped within you, who can encourage you when you feel like waving the white flag of surrender, who can tell you, keep on, keeping on. There is something like the law of association, the law of impartation. You get some positive energy by walking with those who are gifted. If you walk with the losers, you soak in the losing spirit of fear. Number 6, you are not gifted for everyone. Don't try to make impressions. Work out your gift for the audience of one, the one who gave you the gift. Number 7, the gifted are opposed. There will be friction along the way. There will be opposition along the way. So don't judge your gift by how smooth the journey is. The journey is going to be bumpy. The journey is going to be rough. But you've got to manifest your gift anyhow. You've got to fight till all trouble withers away. Number 8 and the last one, your gift is not your character. Character is not a gift. It's not given to you. You determine it yourself. You work out your character. The gift is already in you. God has given you the gift. But it's your responsibility to ensure your character does not destroy your gift. The devil can't attack your gift. The gift is from God. The devil has no capacity to attack your gift. So he attacks your character. And when your character is in question, you cannot manifest your gift because people are not ready to be served by someone with a questionable character. So you've got to take care of your character if you don't want your gift to waste away. Will you receive it?
Were you blessed by this message? Are you blessed by my ministry? I would like to invite you to be my ministry partner by sending me your love offering every month. I've shared with you the giving options on the screen. Help me to spread the gospel around the world. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to hit the bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. And if you're visiting the Atlanta metropolis or you live around Atlanta area, welcome to Family Church, 287 Mount Calvary Road, Marietta, Georgia.